built this in Photoshop. Right now we're just going through making some grid lines just to make it a bit easier to transfer the image over. I think what my plan is rough out the main body of this Blade Runner Sci-Fi space chick, and we'll get her sketched out and then we'll go from there. I don't know if you can see, but her nose is a bit whack. So we're just gonna redo it. For the most part, she's pretty much ready to go. Go over this in black. I'll probably just use a Sharpie paint marker. We're gonna do that and get her all outlined, figure out some shadow placement, and then we'll be ready for some paint. Well, there we go. That didn't take too much time at all. What I'm gonna end up doing now that she's kind of sorted out, take a thin down white acrylic wash over the whole thing, and then we're gonna have to figure out how exactly we're gonna paint this thing. Take the big tub of white paint, add a bit of water, using this paint rag, just wipe it all over. Going to flesh out kind of the main values. This is just the way that I paint. Kind of know what I want to do and I know what I need to do, so we're going to do that. This, we're going to mix the lightest tone here. That's kind of what we're dealing with, just gives us a base tone to work with. Cool, she's looking sweet. Well, she's feeling rather nice and dry. Almost spilled the paint. What we're gonna do now, we're gonna take this lovely base dark value color, and we're gonna go in and here we're gonna get a bit of definition out of this. So just like that, we got most of the values roughed out now. And then we'll come back and work on it tomorrow. And it's tomorrow, gotta love technology. Painting's all dry now. Today what we're gonna do is basically make her look more 3D. So let's get painting. starting to look really cool. It's taken a lot of form, especially around the arms and the chest area. I think I've done a pretty okay job at establishing the lights and the darks. There's still some work on this arm here that I want to address. I don't really know what I feel is wrong with it yet, but I'm gonna figure that out. The next thing I'm going to tackle, apart from this empty kind of dark spot on the neck, is figuring out the values, the detail in the head, because that's obviously going to be a tricky part. I kind of have an idea in my mind of where I want to go, kind of a roadmap of the painting process. So I think we're going to do that. Starting to look real nice and sexy. So now that most of the base coat is done, to give it that kind of glossy, alien, super smooth skin look, I'm going to take this polychromos pencil, take that to the canvas, effectively to outline where I want the highlights to go. That way I can use that as kind of a blueprint. Pencil work is done, so now it's time to paint. Cool, so basically what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take this Sharpie paint marker and go in and just clean up some of the highlights around the face, basically just making sure that all the lines are nice and smooth. Right here on her neck, it's just a little unused. Just in order to completely satisfy myself with the piece, I'm gonna just spend a bit of time and kind of flesh out what's going on the back of her neck. And just like that, the painting's almost done. There's just a little bit left to do. There's going to be the background, and then doing kind of like a light cast shadow on the underside of the chest and the torso, and definitely some overarching highlights on the helmet. It's just kind of an artistic way, as if it was being backlit by maybe a colored light or something. Gonna let that dry completely and just kind of have a think on what color we're gonna use. Also have to figure out what color we're gonna do for the background. We'll figure it out. We've got some spray paint. There's 3 colors we're using. We've got a combination of marble, Houdini, and wall color. Just kind of 3 varying shades of gray. We're gonna paint the canvas. First up, we're using wall, which is our lightest shade of gray. Second color is done, we're going to go ahead and use our middle gray value. It's titled Wall. Time for our last color now. We got the Houdini color. best part. Man, she's looking sexy. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna mix the color for the cast light, which is gonna help the darker edges kind of pop off. We're gonna use a combination of Golden Flow acrylics, Createx airbrush, and just some really basic cheap acrylic paint. Give this a little mix. Yeah, you can see that. It's kind of starting to look like a bit of an acid green. I think now with this color, we're basically set to go. We're almost just about done here. Sweet. So finally finished the painting. Happy with how this has turned out. I did decide to simplify a fair amount of stuff for the way that I ended up interpreting the painting off of the reference images that I had kind of built up. And I think just that subtle spray paint background complements the painting. Yeah, this is great. This kind of takes me back to how I first got into art and creativity in the first place, was just science fiction and just drawing cool stuff. So that's a wrap.